Hey guys, welcome to PriceBaba Conversations episode 2, and today we're going to perform the bend test on an iPhone 5s and see how... No? Okay, alright. Okay, that is just...
It won't bend, but...
Okay, alright, okay. No, seriously, okay. So today we're going to talk about what do you want from your next phone. So this was a very interesting conversation that me, Crizel and Aditya were having over lunch the other day, where I'm currently using a Moto X, and
you've already seen 5S.
Yeah, so Crizel's using the iPhone 5s
and the Nexus 5. So
right. So Aditya has the Nexus 5. So we were thinking that we're pretty satisfied with our phones right now, but like being in the industry that we are in, we are constantly looking at new phone launches, looking at new features that are coming in.
We do look at different specs every day.
Right.
And we are really tempted at times.
Right. So you can't blame us if we get tempted maybe a few times a day when a new phone launches.
Press release which is loaded with a lot of...
Right. And thinking that, oh wow, like how would it be if, this would be...
We actually start calculating stuff we can sell and, so that we can buy the new stuff that's on sale.
Yes. So, as a matter of fact, I am selling my Pebble very soon. If anybody is interested, do let me know to buy a Pebble. To buy a very scratched Pebble, by the way. Yeah. So that I can buy a Moto 360 finally.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so here's the thing. So we all have... There are good things and there are bad things about the current smartphones that we're using. So we said, hey, let's do a quick rundown of what we like and about our current phones and what we expect from our next phones.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll begin with Aditya. Aditya, what's your story?
So yeah, I've bought a Nexus 5 I think in December last year, and it's been 9 months owning the Nexus 5, and I've shifted from a Sony Xperia P. So I know what not getting update feels like, and getting the recent updates, I'm pretty happy with the phone.
Alright.
It runs well and is on the latest software.
Alright.
Something I can boast about.
Cool. So I mean, it's obviously the Nexus, so it's going to get the Android L when it launches.
Really excited about Android L.
Right.
Want to see how it works on the Nexus 5.
So this device is pretty much satisfying your requirement as of today.
Yes, pretty much. As in, it's got a good display and has got enough firepower in it to run pretty much all the apps that are available on the Play Store.
Okay.
So happy with it.
All right. So now let's get to the pain points. So what are those things that you wish when you're making the next purchase? When you're upgrading to the next phone, what is it that you want to have that you're missing out?
Okay, so on the Nexus 5, the first thing I'd say is battery. Having a Snapdragon 400 in here with
800.
A Snapdragon 800. I'm really sorry. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, a Snapdragon 800 with a 2300 milliamp hour battery. I don't think it justifies it because
and then there's the 1080p screen.
Yes, the 1080p display as well, and so running games. I am a gamer, so playing games on it, I see the battery losing out on dying on me pretty quickly, and even with my heavy use, daily use will run for around 10 hours is the max I can expect. So
you charge your phone like at least twice a day?
At least twice a day, or I have a power bank that is plugged in most of the times.
Right.
So that is something I don't really like about the phone. Other than that, I think the 8 megapixel camera is just about average.
Okay.
At launch, it was pathetic.
Okay.
And with software updates that Google gave, it's been getting better incrementally. So I definitely like a better camera on my next phone.
Okay.
The thing with battery, as we were discussing, you can never really have a battery that lasts really long. The only thing you can do is add more milliamp hour in it.
Right.
So I don't really subscribe to that idea because I don't like bulky phones. I like a slim phone that fits well in hand. So
basically what you're asking for is if you can bend the laws of physics.
Yes. So
to get what you
want. Yeah. So even if even if I don't really want a really big battery because I like sleek phones, and so what I'd like is for the phone to charge faster. So if you can't give a lot of power, storage in it, so let it charge faster. So probably half an hour to full charge is something I know unrealistic, but something.
No, probably not. I mean, we've seen at examples like that
Store.dot.
So Store.dot shows they have like they have trials where a Samsung S4 charges from like 20 to 80% in like 30 seconds.
That is
so
incredible.
Maybe that day is coming.
Some time and it will be really costly when it's just technology.
But it would be awesome. It would be kind of like, you know, when your car runs out of fuel, you just the time that it takes you to fill fuel.
It
would be kind of like that.
Same
run out of battery, you just
recharge 30 seconds. I think people would pay also.
People would pay for that. I will pay. I will personally pay a lot of money for that.
Yes.
You know, if my phone charges in 30 seconds, I'm willing to pay a lot.
Nothing like
And that would give us choices to buy a phone which doesn't have a really great battery. Because you can charge it fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Aditya, we have also heard that the next Nexus, see, it's pretty clear, as I understand, that software updates are extremely important to you.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure that you are going to stick around with the Nexus series of phones.
Pretty much.
But we've also heard rumors that the next Nexus is going to have a 5.9-inch display.
I don't know, Google, whatever you're thinking, it's wrong. Please don't get a big Nexus.
That's a phablet.
Yeah, it's actually going into phablet territory. You know, a 5.9-inch display is huge. I don't want to use my phone with two hands. And
so what would you do then? Would you bite the bullet? Would you pick up a bigger Nexus?
I don't know. There are some rumors that there's also a smaller Nexus coming, maybe a 5.2. We never know. You know,
like the iPhone way.
So two different models this year, and
let's hope that happens.
If that doesn't happen, I think I'll stick to the Nexus 5 till there's a better replacement, or till Google offers support to it. Otherwise, I don't see a logical upgrade.
All right. Wow. So I mean, tough choices for you.
Really tough
the next year.
Or maybe the Moto X. It looks decent.
The 2014.
The 2014 Moto X, but again, it's a marginal upgrade.
It's a marginal upgrade.
And they get updates really fast, so you won't miss out on that.
Yeah,
Moto
the
gets the
updates.
fastest.
At least they promise Android L on that phone.
And they quite well deliver. I remember your phone was updated very soon.
Very soon. Yep.
So that is something good.
Absolutely awesome. So this was Aditya's next. He wants a phone with more battery, as does everybody, right?
Yes.
And obviously, like the camera, he feels could be a little better than what it is.
And maybe if I had quad HD display.
All right, okay. So can you to be very honest with you, I tried a G3 the other day, and to be very honest with you, people say that 300 ppi threshold and all that stuff where you can't discern between, But having said that, if you really look closely, yes, there is a bit of a difference. So I wonder where is it gonna stop? Like now it's QHD, 500 plus PPI.
Probably gonna have 4K displays.
Who knows? Will it ever end? So crazy. Because the more pixels you put on the display, the worse it's going to drain your battery.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Anyway, let's shift our attention to Grizel, who has been an ardent iPhone user since the past 4 years. So tell us your story, Grizel.
I used to use an iPhone 4 from 2011.
Alright.
And I switched to the 5S because the 4 was dead. Like the home button used to barely work. And I was against assistive touch. So it was a really good upgrade for me to switch. Because 5 had a bigger screen. And 3.5 was small. Like I think 4 is perfect now. Obviously Apple doesn't think like that.
Apple doesn't think so, unfortunately.
It thinks bigger display is the future.
Or maybe, But so I switched to 5S and I'm pretty happy.
What do you like about this phone right now?
Touch ID.
Alright,
I think
that's one thing that
everyone would be jealous of that.
Super jealous of that.
And for me, basic things like the whole iOS ecosystem, totally buried into it. Like I spend a lot of my time driving, and this connects perfectly with the car, the iPod.
Right, you have an iPod.
So I can use the controls on my steering. Otherwise, if I used Android, I have to connect to the aux. I can't change. I actually have to use my phone. So basically, it's you're driving, then you got to change the song. You got to use your phone, and they say don't use your phone when driving. So that's not safe.
Not safe.
So that's why this works perfectly for me.
Pretty awesome. So what are your pain points with the iPhone 5s? What is that one thing, or maybe a couple of things that you wish were better?
Battery. That's one thing. But iOS optimizes battery really well.
You're right.
Resource management is
very
well.
well.
Right. Yeah, it
was better battery would never happen.
It would never happen. But yes, you are absolutely right when you say that. In my personal experience, I mean, it is comparatively a much better. It's much better. It doesn't. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't drain battery as fast as Android phones. Like,
and it has a small battery.
Right. I mean, despite having a small battery, it probably gives performance comparable to a phone which has like maybe, I don't know, like almost twice
as much
size.
easily.
Yeah. So pretty awesome with that respect.
Yes.
And what about screen size? So what's going to happen now?
Now I'm not upgrading this year.
Alright.
So maybe the 6S or the 7 if I can pull this for another.
Okay.
So 4.7.
So
I'm against the 5.5 inch. Bend I want.
Okay.
The bend. It's even if they.
So tell me something. What is it that is not making you upgrade to the iPhone 6 right now?
For me, it's just a bigger 5S.
Right.
I don't miss out on Touch ID where iPhone 5 users are upgrading for that.
Right.
So there's nothing, a bigger screen phone which I'm not really dying to have. In fact, I'm against it. And a better camera. I'm not on Instagram.
Come to think of it,
it's
you're right.
fine. I don't really click that many pictures.
Great, because come to think of it, the best feature of the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus, I think, Apple Pay, is not here yet. So honestly, I don't see any reason why any iPhone.
And I'm not going to get much. The price has depreciated a lot. I'll have to put another 30k to get the 6. So it makes no sense, at least for 1 year to upgrade. This is very new.
Makes sense.
An extended warranty in place. So
makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. Yeah. So would you say that you would prefer buying a phone? So I believe you bought the 5S at launch.
At launch.
So you are from that school of thought where you want to buy a high-end phone and then keep using it.
Using it for as long as it can, or if something really good comes.
Right. Here's my deal. I was an iPhone 5 user till the time the Moto X came to town, and people were like, "Are you nuts? Are you downgrading? Why are you downgrading from an iPhone 5 to a Moto X?" But like you said, the way Touch ID was for you, touchless controls were for me. So the fact that I can now, it's probably gonna fail, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay, Google now.
It didn't let you down. So, no, it works.
The first time when a demo did not fail.
No, but we've got, other instances where you didn't intend it and, it would just again.
No, I get really scared. I talk a Touch ID or sometimes there'll be drop of water, man. I'm like, this works so well, and oh god, it's not unlocking.
So I was so drawn to this concept of touchless controls because I drive a lot.
Even I miss that. Yes.
It is awesome. It is awesome to have a phone next to you where you can, without taking your eyes off the road, because that's the right thing to do, the safe thing to do, and without taking your eyes off the road, you can text people, you can navigate to places, and that was pretty much the draw for me.
For the reason for getting the Moto X.
Siri does that now when it's connected. Mine is always connected when driving.
But good luck trying to.
The accents. Slowly call more. Beyond that, it's nothing.
For every other Android device that runs on Android 4.4 KitKat, Google now does the same thing. As long as it's charging, you can say, okay, Google, and trigger it.
So that's the thing. So for me, the first thing when I got this, and when I started using touchless controls and the other special features that Motorola baked into the Moto X, I had back then said to myself, oh my god, I'm not going to buy a phone without these features, period. I need these features in my next phone, and I do. But the fact of the matter is now the whole OK Google part is actually marginalized, that feature, because now, like you rightly said, every Android 4.4 phone can even from the lock screen, you just have to press a button and you can say OK Google, and it does the exact same thing.
So it's no longer exclusive to Moto.
It's no longer exclusive. Second, and most important, if I am buying the Moto 360 or an Android smart, Wear smartwatch, I'm going to be doing that thing more often on the watch than on the phone. So even if my phone does not have always listening, I think that's fine. I think the
watch will do it.
Right. So my first pain point with this phone, although it's a great phone, my first pain point with this phone is battery.
Oh God.
I think everyone has a problem with battery.
Everybody has a problem with battery. Battery. It's like I don't know when they're going to solve that. So I need to charge it twice a day. I hate carrying power banks. All the power banks are very useful and you can get by, but I just want a phone that really lasts me one whole day. Where I can just move out of the house without having to carry all
and
these
use it as much as you want. I hate that when it's low, when it's brightness,
I don't want
turn
to
off.
use my brightness. I don't want to not use GPS. You know, I want
disable auto sync or some other battery saving stuff.
Yeah. So I want to be able to use my phone full-fledged. And you know, they say that this has all-day battery life, but come on, that is probably for like a moderate use case. You know, where light usage may mil jayega. But
because we're all heavy users, so
very heavy user.
Yeah, like I'm clearly a heavy user. So there is, I mean, it's the hard truth that there is no way around good battery life other than putting a bigger battery inside the phone. That's it. That's how it's going to solve the problem. I mean, there's no other way I see it.
Or maybe charge it faster.
You know, or charging faster. But till then, the only way I can solve this is getting a phone with a bigger battery.
Yes, that is.
The second thing is, obviously when I bought this, I knew that I was buying a phone with aging hardware. So this runs the dual-core S4 Pro, and I can see the signs. Although it is not entirely unusable, there are times in the interface where it kind of stutters. You know, like if I'm opening a Facebook Messenger chat head, it takes like a couple of seconds for that chat head to open.
That's like minutes for us.
Right, and you know, we realize that it's not just phones that are getting slower or phones that start lagging, but it's also that we are getting faster because of continual usage, because of hours and hours of usage of this particular device every day, day in, day out. You're actually getting faster. Using it every day.
And not only that, we also keep getting hands-on the latest devices which do have faster processors.
Right.
You know,
so when you use that, you know the difference.
And
right?
switching back to another phone, you know, even a Snapdragon 801 or 810, it might be marginally faster, but for you, you know, on the dual core,
it will be a sea change, you know. So, I mean, it's kind of like how when the first Retina display was introduced, right? Like, when you look at a Retina display, you just can't go back.
You can't go back.
You will keep seeing pixels on every other, low PPI screen, right? So, it's kind of like that. You can't go back, you know. So, looking at all these things, I think the Xiaomi Mi 4, I've been eyeing that phone a lot for a while now, because it pretty much fits the profile of that next phone that I want to buy. It's got a bigger battery. It's got, for today, at least it's got the top of the line spec, the Snapdragon 801, 3 gigs of RAM, whatever, you know, what have you.
And good cameras as well, you know.
And good cameras, really awesome front-facing cameras, so, you know, yay selfies.
And very reasonably priced.
And reasonably priced, exactly. Because after having purchased this phone for like 23,000-24,000, I personally, I'm not in favor of spending over 25,000 on a phone. And if rumors are to be believed, the Xiaomi Mi 4 will enter India by the end of this year at a price tag of 20,000. So if that happens, I'm definitely picking up the 64 gig model, which might cost me a little more. The only thing physically to dislike about the phone is the back. I had a, you know, it has this plastic key back, but the good thing is that they have those wood options.
So you can straight away change it.
You can swap it, you know, it looks like an iPhone 5 up front and a Moto X at the back. It's like a Franken monster, you know.
So, you know, and I think the best thing is, for a price of a decent flagship phone, you can have the Mi 4 and a smartwatch that you've been thinking of.
Actually. So instead of buying like, I don't know,
a 40k phone,
you get both. So you have touchless controls on your wrist now, and you have a good phone.
And
absolutely.
MIUI is the best.
MIUI 6 is actually quite nice looking, and it has a lot of features that are upcoming in Android L. It's already there.
Yes.
Like you have lock-screen notifications.
Yeah,
you have, you know, like and from iOS too.
I think you've also gone hands-on on the beta version of the MIUI 6. So you liked it?
Yeah, I was actually, I liked it. There are certain software tweaks that they make. Like for example, the camera, the shutter button. You know, the moment you focus on an object, that focus point, that focus ring becomes the shutter button. So you can just click it, and you can just use the swipe to change the exposure controls right there. That is brilliant. It is super intuitive. So I think that's my next phone. That's my next phone. So plus you get other cool stuff like infrared blaster. So you know, I have a TV which has no cable connection. It's hooked up to the Chromecast. So I just now I have to just pick up the TV ka remote, just turn it on, and then just
switch over to the phone.
Then switch over to the phone. Here I can just do it all with the phone. So I think That's it. That's what I'm looking for.
So wow, that's really brilliant.
So we all three on very different, have very different perspectives.
Absolutely. I think the key takeaway from this discussion is that battery life is obviously a pain point for all heavy users.
Yes. I think touchless controls is something good if you are driving a lot.
Yes.
That's also what I get.
Yes, you should be using that.
Something that should be used.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And also one more thing that my a friend pointed out. He's a Android user, but he really likes the Touch ID on the iPhone. He says, it just makes it simpler. Instead of punching in codes or looking at the damn camera for it to unlock, maybe a fingerprint Touch ID kind of a thing on Android phones would be a welcome move.
Yeah,
because the code takes time. So especially if I don't have touchless controls. So when driving, I need to unlock for some reason at a signal. Then I have no time. Like it's just 2 minutes of signal. I have no time to enter a code.
And plus, it's unique. The best thing is, it's unique.
Absolutely.
You can crack a code, you can't crack the fingerprint.
Yep, absolutely. There have been attempts,
not
easily.
Not
as easily, for sure. So this is it. So we are wrapping up our PriceBaba Conversations episode 2.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys have had fun watching this. If you're still here, that is.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in the next one.
We are giving
What?
No, I was going to say we are giving away an iPhone 6. So obviously that.
Okay.
Because you said if you're still here.
Okay. So we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to
like,
subscribe,
comment.
Sure, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and all that jazz.
Okay.